Okay. Good evening. My name is Katherine Bruce, and I'm the Executive Director of Planet in Focus. I'd like to welcome all of you to our opening night and the 21st Planet in Focus International Environmental Film Festival, held virtually for the first time and streaming across the country, also for the first time in our history. To begin, we'd like to acknowledge that here in Toronto, the festival is taking place on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. We're extremely grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. Tonight, we celebrate 21 years of using film as a catalyst for change. It's been a challenging and extremely unsettling year, and at this point in our collective history as a planet, we need filmmakers more urgently than ever before. Tonight, we're incredibly honored to be opening our festival with Jennifer Abbott and Joel Bakan's incredible documentary, The New Corporation, The Unfortunately Necessary Sequel. We're delighted to have them both with us here tonight to introduce the film. None of this, of course, would be possible without the many, many people working hard together over many, many months, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank all of them. My heartfelt thanks goes to Alessandra Canedo, our programs director, for her immense talent, passion, and hard work. Our outstanding programmers, Julian Carrington and Lesley Johnson, here tonight with us. Sophia Mendizabal, our highly dedicated festival manager. Our publicist, Jesse Cumming, our social media manager, Emily D'Souza, and Allison Williams. Our pre-screeners were incredible this year as well. We had a record number of submissions. I'd like to thank Azila Azorba, Michael John Long, Jesse Cumming, Ron Ma, and Jane Wang for all of your work. A huge thank you also to Dana Kretchevich, the chair of our board, and the members of the Planet in Focus board for everything that you do. I'd also like to thank the EDs of Inside Out, Real Asian, Real World Film Festival, the Imaginative Film Festival, and the Regent Park Film Festival for the Fall Festival Working Group that we formed that met weekly to discuss best practices, share ideas, and give each other support as we move towards the launch of our respective virtual festivals. Thank you to all of you. Also, this has been an incredibly difficult year financially for many, and we are very grateful for the support of the Canada Council for the Arts, the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council, Ontario Creates, Heritage Canada, and Telefilm Canada for their ongoing support of our festival, and to the TD Friends of the Environment for their generous contribution to our year-round educational programs. Finally, a thank you to Emblem for our beautiful key art this year. We're excited to be honoring as our eco-heroes this year, Dr. Ayanna Elizabeth Johnson as our 2020 International Eco-Hero, Aliyah Jasmine Savani as our Canadian Eco-Hero, and Cheyenne Sundance as our Rob Stewart Youth Eco-Hero this year. This is a year I'm extremely excited about the Eco-Heroes, and I hope you'll all join us on our live stream events. They're free for the first time. The website has all of the details. A massive, immense, heartfelt thank you to Alex Miller and Esri Canada for their long-standing support of the Eco-Hero program. And now, I'd like to introduce our fantastic senior programmers, Julian Carrington and Lesley Johnson, for the absolutely extraordinary program that we are all so proud of this year. They're going to tell you a little bit about the festival films. Please enjoy the festival. I'm sorry we can't all be together to have a drink, but please join us and take care, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Katherine.
Thank you.
So I'm Lesley Johnson. I'm co-senior programmer here with Planet in Focus. This year was a challenge for us, not only from an organizational standpoint to adapt to this current climate and reality, but also from a programming standpoint to select films that would be relevant to an audience whose reality is being shaped by a pandemic and the many other events that are currently influencing us at the moment. So we're really proud to be presenting our first online and Canada-wide festival. We're presenting 13 features and 25 shorts in our main program, and more included within our family program. Within the program, we're very proud to be presenting over 20 Canadian films, films which have been made from filmmakers of a very diverse group of backgrounds. These films reflect a variety of themes, including personal stories of climate change, current political landscapes, our relationships with nature, wildlife, and domestic animals, and of course, many that also represent the pandemic. We're very proud of this program, and I'm happy to be with you all here in this virtual space. So with that, I'll pass it over to co-programmer Julian Carrington.
Thanks, Lesley. To begin with, I'd just like to echo Leslie's sentiment there about the challenges that this year has presented, and obviously also the regret that we can't be with our community in person. Planet in Focus is always a festival that lends itself so well to in-person events. Our films tend to energize our community, and that collective experience is always so valuable. But you know, 2020 has also brought many new opportunities. And we're excited to be able to share the program nationwide for the first time. So while we can't all be in the same place at once, we're grateful for the opportunity to expand our community to some new audiences this year for the first time. As Lesley mentioned, you know, the program this year was really something that we felt had to speak to the moment. And in my 5 years at Planet in Focus, I certainly feel as though we've never had a more up to the moment program that speaks to so many pressing issues of the day. Obviously, the pandemic is a major element of our reality that is reflected in the program this year, but so too are topics like environmental racism, certainly something we couldn't overlook or shy away from in this year of all years. And we were careful to also make some space for Indigenous voices in our program, which again, you know, that's just something that we knew we had to make space for this year. So I'm delighted, I think, with what we were able to assemble. And we were also mindful of the format that this festival would be experienced in when we were curating the film. So we've got a great mix of features and shorts, you know, whether you've got 2 hours to devote to one of our longer docs, or you know, a few minutes between your Zoom calls. We've got something for you this year. So we really do hope that you'll be able to dive in and check out the full program. And of course, to kick it all off, we really couldn't have asked for a better film than The New Corporation, which really does tie so many of the themes of this year's festival together, and is itself incredibly up to the moment. As you may hear in just a moment from our filmmakers, this is a film that was seemingly locked on 2 occasions earlier this year, and they went back in and opened it back up because they felt compelled to address both the pandemic and then, of course, the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement and protest for racial justice. So truly, we couldn't, again, ask for a better film. And as a sequel to such an iconic Canadian documentary that, you know, really did shift the paradigm in documentary storytelling in many ways, truly it's an honor to be able to present its sequel as our opening night film. So that's plenty from me. I'm now honored to introduce the filmmakers of The New Corporation, Jennifer Abbott and Joel Bakan. Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having The New Corporation as your opening film. It's a real honor.
For us as well, I assure you.
It's wonderful. Yes, thank you.
Yes. So yeah, thank you everybody who's out there watching. I think the point that Julian made, that the first film shifted the paradigm in terms of documentary filmmaking, is great, but the problem is it didn't shift the paradigm it was trying to shift, which is corporate capitalism, and hence the need for a sequel, a necessary sequel. And it's unfortunate because over the 20 years or so since the first film, many of the problems that it addresses have gotten worse. We're in a state of existential crisis in the environment, in climate, in democracy, in equality. And what we try to do in this film, I mean, my work, both the book and the film, are driven by the belief that the first step towards change, the necessary but not sufficient step towards change, is understanding what's wrong and understanding which pathways are dead ends and which pathways will actually bring about the just and sustainable world that we want. And so we try to do that, and we also try to provide pathways for hope, for understanding again how and what means we need to use to change the things that so much are in need of change. I don't really want to say much more before you see the film. I think it's good for introductions to be fairly brief, and to let you, the audience, watch the film, you know, without a whole bunch of preconceived notions about it from those who made it. So I just really want to thank Planet in Focus for including us as your opening film. It really is truly an honor. It's a wonderful festival. I've always just been a huge fan of it. And I want to thank all the people who are sitting in front of their computer screens at home watching this. Thanks for joining us. It's, yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, I was thinking about it as being part of Planet in Focus this year, and the first film, in terms of the focus on the environment. And of course, the first film also took into consideration and explored corporate capitalism's relationship to the destruction of the natural world. But I think, well, as Joel pointed out, you know, all of the issues that we explored in the first film, sadly, have just really got exponentially worse. And we felt that very strongly, and almost in particular with regards to the climate crisis that you know, we are now dealing with, and the trajectory we are currently on. If we don't somehow stop, you know, we're heading towards a 4-degree warming and an uninhabitable Earth. So I think we really felt the urgency of this moment in time, 17 years after the first film, in a way, you know, that I hope is reflected in the film, that urgency and that sort of the critical nature of now, I hope is communicated, because we felt it was imperative to do so. And even though the thesis is not about the natural world, you know, it is such an integral part of the whole film. And you know, I had noted other similar films, for example, Saving Capitalism, Robert Reich's Saving Capitalism, that came out a few years ago, didn't actually even mention climate change. So, you know, we were just really adamant to make sure that our thesis was embedded in the existential crisis related to the natural world that we now face.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for gathering tonight and launching the festival. Thank you for your film. And yeah, let's hope that we can all gather soon in person and in a space where we can speak closely and laugh loudly. That would be wonderful. But for now, I'm absolutely delighted that the virtual festival has launched. The platform actually looks beautiful. The website looks beautiful. And yeah, enjoy the festival. Thank you so much again, both Joel and Jennifer, for being here.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.